government for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you very much. And Madam Secretary, let me begin on a positive note. Being from Massachusetts, I see that you're drinking a cup of Dunkin' coffee, which I think is the best coffee in the world.
Yes, they're in the basement of the USDA building.
But I need to tell you that your Secretary of Health and Human Services is going after Dunkin' big time, so we won't tell them. We'll just keep our little secret here.
We say we're all for Maha, but we still like donuts a little bit over at USDA.
But while I'm glad that you're here taking questions, I have to be honest with you. I wish that you would take the time to talk with farmers in my district who've been totally screwed over by this administration. They are livid, they are mad, they are pissed off. My farmers can't afford fertilizer. It's at record highs because of your administration. They can't afford diesel because of this president's reckless illegal war. They can't afford farm equipment. It's more expensive than ever because of the stupid tariffs. Their markets have vanished because you illegally halted the local food procurement programs. In some states, they can't even call their local USDA offices because some of them have been closed. And because of this administration's cruel cuts to food assistance, many people in my community can no longer afford to buy fresh and local produce. People are tired of the gaudy ballrooms and the slush funds and the and the corruption that is on display before their very eyes. They're sick and tired of the Mar-a-Lago class being enriched and getting richer while everybody else gets ignored. Earlier this year, you even bragged about kicking 4.5 million people off nutrition assistance, saying that was, quote, good news. Well, a new report from the Nonpartisan Center on Budget and Policy Priorities found that the number includes at least 700,000 children. Now, I say at least because that's data from less than half the country. That number is going to be in the millions. Let me say that again. 700,000 kids plus have lost their food assistance. That's not good news. Hunger is getting worse in this country. And by the way, the average SNAP benefit is only about $2 per person per meal. You can't even afford to buy your Dunkin' coffee with the average SNAP benefit right now. So do you stand by your comment that kicking people off of food assistance is somehow good news?
So, sir, most of those, based on the numbers, were fraudulent. The 700,000 number of children is not correct. That is not a nonpartisan group that gave you that number. And again, we're back to where we were pre-COVID, and this idea that we should put more and more people on food stamps is just not correct.
Madam Secretary, I mean, I've talked to many of the people who have lost their benefits. They haven't been moved off of SNAP. They've been kicked off of SNAP. These are people who actually need and rely on this food assistance to provide basic nutrition for their families. Hunger is getting worse in the United States of America. We all should be ashamed of that. And that's, by the way, before the $200 billion in SNAP cuts go into effect that were part of the big ugly bill. Let me ask you another question.
May I respond? I'll be super fast.
Yeah.
What I will say is that wages are at the highest rate they've been in American history.
Well,
our unemployment is at the lowest rate. We have more people working. The result of that is less people on government programs.
Go to a grocery store. People are putting groceries back on the shelf because they can't afford to pay their bill.
So
let me ask you, I'm speaking about healthy food and specifically about toxic cancer-causing chemicals like glyphosate that get sprayed on our crops. This administration promised to make America healthy again. This is a yes or no question. Is glyphosate, do you believe that it's safe?
Glyphosate has been proven safe when used correctly, both in the European Union, EU uses it, and in America when used correctly. I'm actually surprised on the Agriculture Committee. If we were to move away from glyphosate overnight, we would completely destroy our food supply system in this country. So Secretary Kennedy and I, obviously we have to take a good look at it. Regenerative farming is a big part of this.
Well, I want to submit for the record the World Health Organization's analysis of this. Chairman Thompson has been pushing the Senate to include a liability shield for chemical companies that make glyphosate after we stripped it out of the House. It was a Republican amendment from Representative Luna that got stripped. The chairman of the committee called it a danger to the nation. Do you agree that Representative Luna's amendment is a danger to the nation?
We have to be so careful and intentional. We're talking about preserving and protecting American farmers.
Do you believe that pesticide companies and chemical companies deserve liability protection?
Listen, we cannot destroy our farmers and ranchers' ability to plant and make a living every day. This is the whole point of this committee.
So you believe even though you're saying that glyphosate is safe, that they should have some sort
It's
of
safe when used
liability
correctly.
protection?
It's safe when used correctly.
So do you believe that they should have liability
If we are
protection?
enacting policy that allows China to be
So-
our sole
so do you-
source
you-
of crop protectant,
do you favor
we will lose
a
freedom
liability
in our
protection for
country.
glyphosate?
I mean, it is that,
Expired.
yeah,
It
we
causes
can,
cancer, Madam
We should
Secretary.
offer-
It causes
Expired.
cancer.
Now recognize gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Scott, for 5 minutes.
by the way, I would love to come to Massachusetts and visit